Hey there, this is Smokeless Chimney. I had to build a new Bellows box. I got one customer in Utah that has a rather large wood stove, and he's been using our Bellows for about 3 or 5 years. I give him a new model every couple years, and he's got a large quadrifier, and he heats the whole house with it in the mountains in Utah. And I'm building up a new box, and I want to go through what goes into building a new box and what code testing we have to do and some of the electronics involved. First, I'm going to start off with a picture of the bellows and then a picture of the octo ring. It sends out a signal, the bellows picks it up and changes its air pattern depending on what it gets from the stove temperature and the smoke from the octo-ring smoke sensor. If no smoke sensor is available, it just goes on the temperature. If it's got a signal from the smoke meter, then it uses that as well. Part of the testing I do is hook the bellows up to the stove. It's too hot outside, so I don't put a fire in the stove. This is what the bellows would do on a stove. There was no exothermic chemical reaction or fire inside. So I'm looking at the levels. There's a 5-minute pattern. So you can see in this 900 seconds, you can see 3 times that it went through the pattern. And I'm looking for the level portions and the peak portions. And it's working just fine for this section, the first 900 seconds of the test. As I work with my control system, I'm one of the few people that can actually do this. And I've learned a few things by testing and evaluating the data that certain patterns of air work better with combustion, making the flames dance and making it flame over smoldering and getting the flame to travel around inside the box to involve new material has a certain pattern to it. And if I use that pattern, that's the changing air pattern. So if I'm always changing the air pattern, freshening it up, pushing it in another way, pushing it in for a different amount of time. Over time, the wood is being consumed, and so I'm going to diminish the airflow so that we can extend the tail of the fire. For a large stove like the quadrifier, there's going to be a lot of fuel, so you want to step the airflow patterns down so you have less volumetric airflow going through the box, and this will help extend the tail and keep the coals going and nice and bright, so when the stove is refueled, it's ready for that fuel. This is the pattern after 120 minutes. So after 120 minutes, this will be the pattern on a cold stove for eternity until it's powered down. And this pattern is great for a small fire. It's great for the tail of a fire. You can put new fuel on. It will increase the airflow when it sees a rise in temperature. The previous steps for the 0 to 15 minutes and then 45 to 60 minutes and then 60 minutes to 120 minutes all have just a little bit more airflow to drive the fire. At this stage, this 120-minute stage, if the wood stove is hot, you're going to have higher bars or the level portions of the pattern. You can see them, they look like bars, and I raise those up to a higher level. That means higher volumetric flows. The peaks that you see are what I call ember invigorators, vaporizers. They get the wood cherry red, and then it starts off-gassing, and then you let the gases collect in that area, and then you push the next airflow through. So a higher portion, 10, is the fan is pumping in, let's say, 10 CFM of air, and then near the bottom at 2, we're only pumping in a 2 CFM of air. One of the tests of my system is the fan has to be able to lift a ping pong ball. And this is about the weight of the column of air that you have to push out of the chimney. If it won't lift a ping pong ball, then it's just not a fan worthy of doing the task. These fans that I make, I ensure they can lift a ping pong ball. Now, by lifting a ping pong ball, it only has to rotate, float on the air column. That's about 1/4 inch of water column. And a lot of It's about 6 millimeters of water column. And it's just a requirement. If it can do that, then it can push the bad air out and you can put good air in. The propeller type fans, they don't reach that level. Here is the turntable shot of this non-contact bellows box that is fully coated and ready to go. All it needs is a 12-volt power supply and a fan that's plumbed into the wood stove, and we can control that fire for days on end.
In the heart of the home where warmth is key, a secret hero works to keep the air free. No smoke, no fumes, just clean and bright. Our smokeless chimney shining with delight. Smokeless, smokeless, a wonder to see. Clear skies and fresh air for you and me. No soot, no grime, just a peaceful sight.